Oh, hello. So, we have a new camera that's come in, and it is the Z6 III. That's right. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having a look at this today. We'll do an unboxing quickly. I've been umming and ahhing about this particular camera for quite a while. The reason I've been umming and ahhing has been because I've already got a Z9 that I use for recording video, and we have the Z30, which I found quite suitable and reasonable when traveling for recording. So I've got this one as like a B cam. We sold our other Z9 and bought a Z6 III and a Z7 II, and I think in terms of selling this for the Z7 II, it was a good idea because, you know, Z7 II is much lighter and it does great photos. It has a slightly better dynamic range value at the top of the ISO charts. And it's so much lighter. Like for landscape and time lapsing, Z7 II is definitely the way to go. More so than the Z8, which is even heavier. Yeah, but for landscaping, absolutely, Z7 II was definitely the way to go. Now, the Z6 III, because we sold the other Z9, I want to use this as the kind of primary, vlog. I guess the vlogging, maybe not so much a vlogging camera. It's too big. I could use the Z30. I guess I was tired of waiting for the Z32. But anyway, let's go and open this baby. Hopefully, there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe. We'll see. I haven't turned it on yet. But I don't know if you can turn it on straight away, whether you have to charge the battery. Anyway, let's open this and have a look inside the box. Box opening up. Z6 III. All right. Let's have a look. So what do we have here in our lovely little camera box? We have obviously the camera, but we don't have a charger. So here is the Z6 III. This is actually, it feels heavier than the Z7 II. That's interesting. I was expecting it to be a little bit lighter than this. Jeez. Well, that's unexpected. Definitely feels heavier. Yeah. Z6 III. I'm not sure how much heavier it is. Oh, that's pretty tight. Okay. There we go. I guess that's good. Definitely. I guess what I was expecting was something like along the lines of the Z30 weight. But well, look, it's like an A7S III, pretty much exactly the same weight as an S7S III. Now, what are the calculations? So this is the Z6 III weight. I think it's about 700 and something grams, 800 grams. This has the battery in it already, but this doesn't have the lens on it. So the lens is ultra light. I think it's like 100 grams or something. And so this DJI 3 Mini, I mean, they're already kind of, they feel like the same weight. Anyway, let's have a look at the stats directly. Okay, so the Z6 III is 760 grams with battery, and the DJI RS3 Mini is 795 grams altogether. So we're already lighter. The Z30 is about, I think, 495 grams with battery, and could be wrong, but the lens is 205 grams. So together, the 205 grams plus 760 will be 965, and this will be over a kilogram. So 400, about the same weight as a Z9, really. So about 1 kilogram, 200 grams. So definitely already lighter. But in terms of the stabilization, we'll need to test that. All right, so we're going to head outside and we'll test these two and see how it performs. All right, guys, so here we are on the Z30 with the 12 to 28 power zoom lens PZ. As you can see, it's pretty stable on the Z30. I'm kind of like hand holding it, and it's pretty good. It's not really that good when you're kind of walking around. So basically, I'm going to do two tests. Once we open the Z6 III, we're going to go and take the Z30 and this lens PZ 12 to 28 with this gimbal, the DJI RS3 Mini. And see how it performs. I always thought that like DJI could do like a DJI Pocket Pro, which is basically like, say, have a larger lens on a gimbal, maybe a little bit, maybe half the size of the DJI RS3 Mini. And that would be absolutely killer. They could, maybe even do an interchangeable lens. But anyway, this is what we've got at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to open the Z6 III. We're going to put this PZ 12 to 28 on it, see how it performs in terms of stabilization, because this is an amazing lens for stabilization. Amazingly stable lens, and see if it can compete with the kind of active stabilization on the Sony cameras. I think it'll do pretty well. Hey guys, so testing the Z6 III with handheld stabilization. This is this is at 12 millimeters on the PZ 12 to 28. There's no digital stabilization. This is just the standard stabilization. Okay, I'm gonna switch on and we can now test the digital stabilization handheld and see how it looks. And this is the digital stabilization now at 12 millimeters, so it's locked in a bit, but it looks like it's definitely a bit more stable than it was obviously with just the standard stabilization. So that's again handheld, and I guess we can compare it now to the Z30 with the gimbal. DJI RS3 Mini with the Z30 and the PZ 12 to 28. So this is gimbal stabilized. Yeah, that's it. It's at 12 millimeters at the moment. We'll zoom in a little bit. I don't think we need to do any electronic stabilization on this one. But yeah, I've got another lens which isn't stabilized, and that one is I think it's a 20 millimeter Viltrox, which is really good. It's excellent. I use it for streaming. So yeah. Hey, so I'm back in the studio. I'm filming on the Z6 III. Z6 III N-Log, N-RAW. Now, but the footage that you saw with me walking around was just SDR, I think H.265, so 10-bit. So basically, what can I say? The Z6 III handheld with stabilization on that lens that you saw, the PZ 12 to 28, with digital stabilization, works. But why would I carry that around if I've got, I guess it's more compact, but I've got the Z30, I can just put that on a gimbal and walk around with it doing headshots, walk and talk. I guess I could do N-RAW with this, better quality video, handheld. One thing I noticed was that hand-holding the Z6 III was actually more difficult than even the heavier DJI RS3 Mini with the Z30, and the reason for that was because you kind of like holding it up like this, like this, right? I'm holding it like that, so I have to keep my hand in that position. But if I'm walking with the gimbal, I'm just holding the gimbal down, and I've got it like, how is it? Like I'm holding it like this, right? It just doesn't strain your arm. Like you don't have to have it in an uncomfortable position for as long, and so it's just easier to use. I wish Nikon had a 10-bit, like they have the Z52, but it's heavier. This on the gimbal, I guess you could do it, but it's just so heavy and big. I had the Sony a7S III. This is pretty much the same thing, but it does 12-bit RAW. Yeah. And what about the Z9? Like, where does that fit? The only reason I'm keeping the Z9 at the moment is because we've got some wetlands that are here, like not too far, and they're almost done. And I want to maybe do some filming with bird filming, but I guess, is it worth it? Like, do I expect to create a documentary film about birds? And if I do, why don't I just film it with this? with the Z6 III. You know, you've got like, I mean, I guess you could use this as a B cam if I'm doing some documentary work with the Z9, because the Z9 just has more. And if I ever wanted to do 8K, which I've never done, I think I did one 8K video. I even bought some websites for 8K, like just to do stock footage, 8K stock footage of nature. But I haven't done anything with it. You know, one of those other projects that just kind of hasn't gone anywhere. You know, so I've got this whole shot so far thing that I'm working on. Just too busy with other client paid work. It really is. It's not an easy decision. So I'm not sure what to do yet. I'm considering selling the Z. If I was to sell the Z9, I'd get a Pocket 3, and I would walk around with that, and I would use this as a studio cam, and maybe use it as a, you know, filming cam to carry around also for film. I'd use the Z7 II for landscape photography, for portraits. I'd love to have the Z9, right? The Z9 is great for portraits, high resolution. But then, you know, the Z7 II, the Z7 II is fine for portrait photography. It's great. You don't need the Z9 for portrait photography. The Z9 is great for sports, action, and fast-moving wildlife. And I mean fast-moving wildlife. Like, if you're walking around with the Z7 II and you see like some wildlife that's not fast-moving, that's kind of like just hanging around and you're at a zoo, you'll get the photo. You don't need the Z9. It's the jump, especially if you're not a professional. So if you're a professional photographer and you need that shot with fast-moving wildlife, I absolutely understand that you would need the Z9. And so it's kind of like, well, you know, what to do, right? What to do? Do I sell the Z9 and get Pocket 3 and another Z30, one for streaming? But if I've got the Pocket 3, why would I take the Z30 for a walk with a gimbal? It would make no sense. I mean, I would take the maybe Z30 to do, like, yeah, why would you do that? I can't put it. I mean, look, the Z30 with interchangeable lenses means that I can take it, I can put on the gimbal. If I go for a hike or go for a walk and talk shoot, right? I can take the Z30, film it. It's light with a DJI. It's light enough that I can put it somewhere and move it around and hand hold it with the RS3. In fact, you know, I can walk for about an hour with the DJI RS3 Mini and the Z30, right? Spare battery, no worries. And the video quality isn't that bad at all, to be honest. And with an ND filter, if you've got, you know, highlights, you can just pull it down and get a better shot. So really, the Z30 is preferred for me over the Pocket 3. So I've got, maybe I'll get another. I'll wait with the Z32. I'll wait 6 months, see what Nikon comes out with. What can you say? Hopefully, come on Nikon, release the Z32 with 10-bit video that doesn't have an EV and is as light as the Z30. That would be absolutely killer. It would be exactly what I think a lot of people would need. So there's that. Z9. What do I do with this? Let's sell the Z9. Maybe, like, I'm really contemplating it. I am this close to saying goodbye to the Z9. I'm just emotionally attached to it, really, more than anything. It's just an emotional attachment. It's not really like I need it or use it. You make use of its capabilities. Well, on that note, guys, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to sink into the depths of consideration and think about what next. Because, like, in the studio, the Z6 III just kills it. It's just so much easier. Even like, I could take the Z6 III and the Z30 together, and they would be lighter than the Z9. And I've got two cameras, right? So I could use one to do this film, to film something, and then use this to film something. It's not, but it's more of a nostalgia. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I had enough. I just want to also say thanks to Casey for suggesting the comparison. It's motivated me to do this video while I'm working on a epistemological essay of a video. I've written a script and I've got scenes to do and I'm going to film it. But it just seems like a lot of work for a video that I need to go out and actually film, and I need to learn the script. So that will be coming up next. Hopefully I'll get that done next week. This one's just being kind of like a gung-ho, you know, Z6III's arrived, let's just do it. All right, guys, good to see you. I can't wait to see you soon. Bye.